assembly, I think will take you, if you are doing it first time, might take you a little while, but once you've done it a couple of times, no big deal. All the parts pretty much fit. They all come together quite nicely, and no issue with the packaging and the way they put the alphabets. The manual itself is pretty self-explanatory, so if you can, you know, read instructions and follow some simple diagrams, it's pretty much kind of monkey see, monkey do. Should not have any problems assembling the SmokeFire. Here's a few tips on how to assemble your SmokeFire. You want to get it out of the box first, and the way you do that is you remove these little tabs. They come at the bottom of the unit here. So you pull these tabs out, you take the box off, you start unpackaging the SmokeFire parts, put all the parts in the corner so you can work carefully. And all you need to do is to get somebody to help you to tilt the SmokeFire onto its side. They provided a little paper cardboard protection piece. So if you have somebody help you, you can tip this unit. The whole packaging shipping weight is 200 pounds. So you need 2 people to do this. You just tip it over the sides. We're gonna put the legs in as the first step. And the legs have these colored markings on it, like so. See, yellow and red. So the Weber engineers kind of made it foolproof because these red markings match up against the red marking here, the yellow marking here, the yellow marking here, and then the red marking here. So we're gonna insert the legs into the different colored markings, so it's pretty foolproof. You cannot screw up here. So push it in like so. Yep. And there's a couple of screws you need to screw in. They give you the Allen wrenches to do so. Okay, feed in like so. You get 4 casters, and there's 1 caster. There's 2 casters with the locking mechanism and 2 without. So the ones with the locking mechanism go on the front of the unit. So this is the front of the unit. So the casters that have the locking mechanism go in the front. So we're going to install these casters with the locking mechanism on the front legs of the SmokeFire. The casters without the locking mechanism, and they go in the back like so. Before we assemble the underside or the belly of the SmokeFire, I just want to kind of talk you through some of the items here. So as you are aware, here's where the glow plug will go in. I'm going to show you how to assemble the glow plug in a little bit. Here's the pellet hopper kind of situated on its side. Here's the little handle to open to drop your pellets. So you want to change pellets out, you just pull this little lever. The pellets will drop out into your bucket. Here's the fan that blows air into for convection current. Let me discuss this piece, which is a very ingenious design, which a lot of you have commented that you guys don't like the design where the grease, which is here, and the ash comes out. So here's the kind of how the pan works. So if you look at this thing here, right, when you assemble this thing up like so, the grease will fall through here into the pan like so, right? So these are the 2 knobs here, one on this side and one on this side here. So the grease will flow into the pan, but the ash will flow down this chute here. There's a chute here, and it will flow down onto the back side of the ash pan. So you have ash going here, and you have grease from these 2 outlets, right, going into the pan. Does the design work? It worked for me. I have a few cooks under my belt. So for those of you who are asking how the design works, they do have the ash separated from the grease, so the 2 should not mix. So now what we need to do is gently tip it over this way. Ready? Up, 1, 2, 3. Up. Here we go. People. Lower down. Lower down carefully. More. All right, folks. So when you're doing this, make sure you have 2 people. This is a 200-pound package. Even with the EX4, you want to do this safely. Do not try to do this like me alone. Not a good idea. You're gonna get yourself hurt, and you're gonna damage your pit, right? So you notice this piece here. This piece now can come off because it was designed to protect this portion of the SmokeFire when you were assembling it on its side to put the feet and the casters on. Okay, we're gonna put the inserts like so. So make sure you face it the right way, like that. Goes in here. Same here, the insert, the angle goes in to match the angle of the what you call SmokeFire curve here. So you drop it in like that.
It's the other way.
Sorry, the other way. So the 4 screws. And so 1 screw, 1 washer, 2nd washer. This knob here, right, fits into this hole like that. Okay, and then that thing goes on top. This bar goes on top carefully so that the hole here, the knob here, fits into the knob here. Okay, like so. Okay, cool. And then you put the bolt behind. So now we got this one, we have this one, we're all set. So before I assemble all the different components here, I'll just show you how this thing looks before the ash pan goes on and the fire burn pot goes on. So you can see, right, this little metal design here. There is a hole to put the burn pot, and this is the auger, and here are the holes for the grease on the left and on the right. And there is a little chute here at the bottom. I'll show it to you here. You can see here my hand. This is the chute that will drop the ash and slide it down into the ash pan. There's what do you call the grease holes are here. There's a little channel here that you can see going down on the left and right side to channel the grease into the grease pan. We're gonna assemble this plate now that goes up here. In order for you to do that, you have to make sure that you take this screw off and loosen this screw before we can begin. We loosen this one here. Okay, so there's a little bit of a gap. Pick this up, so we hook it onto this thing here. There we go. All right, cool. Okay, now we put the other screw down here. The next thing we want to do is we want to mount the pan like so. So with this pan is this one here. So it goes up onto the base of the SmokeFire. Okay, and it fastens in the back like so. Here. Sorry, you gotta hook it on first. This hook here hooks onto this thing here. Like so. Okay, this coil pan goes on top. Slides in right there. So the next thing we want to do is install the glow plug, and that's the assembly onto the back of the SmokeFire. This is how the glow plug looks like, and it's mounted in here into this little housing. Now we have to undo this screw here.
Why doesn't it come installed?
Because they want you to install the glow plug so that you know how to replace it when you have a problem. Gently take it out, gently, very gently, very gently, very gently. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna install the glow plug. Here's the connector for the glow plug. You gotta put the glow plug in like so. Push it in. Okay, so that you can see the contact here. The positive and negative are connected to the glow plug. Make sure the wires don't get crimped here. Like so, push it back in. So in case you're wondering why you have to do this, so Weber wants you to learn how to replace your glow plug if it's worn. So this is a rite of passage if you want to own a SmokeFire. Gotta learn how to do this. Not a big of a deal. You're supposed to actually install this piece and then insert the glow plug through it, but we did it kind of backwards. But not to worry, because you can gently kind of ease the glow plug into the hole here. So You need to make sure that this little knob here, right? This little feet here fits right into the slot here. This piece has to go this way. Don't assemble it the wrong way around because the hole here is for the glow plug. So you need to make sure that the glow plug can go to this hole. Ordinarily, you would assemble this and then put the glow plug up like so, right? So that you can see the glow plug go through the hole here. Just lift the glow plug gently, slide your fire grate over, place it on like so. Okay, so it's secure, it sits properly. The glow plug has to stick through here. I don't know if you can see, the camera can see, but the glow plug is sticking here. There should be a little bit of play on the glow plug like that. That's perfect. Then you put the burn pot cover, right here. This is the burn pot. Make sure that the sticker lines up with this sticker here. You see that? Okay. Put it on carefully. So it's gotta sit and sit tight. Okay. So that's the burn pot. That's the fire grate. That's where the pellets after burning will fall right through into the chute below. Here's the chute. So these two screws go down here, and it's very important that you make sure that the chute is aligned very carefully. Don't lose any of the screws now because if it falls down, it's going to be hard to assemble it. Make sure the screw chute is completely aligned. Don't completely tighten it first, just get it a little bit tight. And then make sure that this part here, you can see here, it's got to be completely in the center. Don't kind of like get it kind of cockeyed and get it straight, because the pellets have to fall into this chute here, like so. Make sure you get it completely aligned before you tighten the little two screws at the bottom. We're ready to install the hook that holds all the flavorizer bars and then the heat shield. So if you notice here, right, there's the two little nubs here, one on this end, one on this end. Same with here and here. So this mechanism hangs on the back like so. Same here on this side. Okay, the two nubs are here and down here below the ledge. The heat shield gets positioned like this way, okay, not this way, this way, and it goes down like that, and that protects the flame from burning. All right, now you're gonna get a lot of oil on this thing because it's been greased up. So when you cook it the first time during the burning cook, all this will turn black. Don't worry about it. This is designed to be burned off, the oil, and kind of position it right in the middle. So it's a little bit of play. I like to push it to the right because the fire tends to go to the right, but you can leave it in the middle during the burning cycle. Okay, now let's put on the flavorizer bars. There's 6 of them. 4 and 6. And the last thing is the heat shield. I call it a TP for short. Looks like a little TP. And this piece goes here. Okay, so all right, and then the grates go on top. SmokeFire assembly done. The thing you do is to cut it off, and then you go to jail if you cut this off. So do this at your own peril. Here's the plug here. So roll this up, handy cord. All right, let's plug it in and get it done. The propeller hopper. Turn the puppy on. And rock and roll. We turn on the Weber SmokeFire and turn the phone on, and once you turn on the Weber SmokeFire and the phone app is on, it will connect automatically. So it's doing the software update now. It's 13%. You really shouldn't start cooking until you have the software update on your phone, because the phone will essentially provide the connection needed to the SmokeFire to upgrade the firmware. You need the firmware on the SmokeFire to be upgraded before you can start cooking. So this will take a few minutes. They say up to maybe 20 minutes, depending on your Wi-Fi strength. But we're gonna let this sit and let it run and get the SmokeFire's firmware updated before we do the burn-in cook for about 40 minutes at 600 degrees Fahrenheit. It looks like the unit has updated. Let's give it a shot here. We press it down and then we turn it to 600 degrees. We burn it up for about 40 minutes here. Okay, I press it one more time and it turns it on. Okay, unit starting up. Now that SmokeFire is going through its burning cycle, you can go online and register your product. The serial number is right here. So if you want to register your product, you need a serial number. That's where the information is located here. The algorithm will heat up the glow plug. The pellets will start dropping. Fan is on. Flames will start. So for those of you who have never used a pellet cooker, this is pretty normal. If you use a pellet cooker, you just have to know how to get through this process and make sure that everything is working. Things that go wrong is the glow plug doesn't burn or the heater doesn't work. The pellets get stuck or the auger gets stuck. These are normal pellet head kind of issues. So you want to make sure that everything is okay. I'm just showing you guys how the SmokeFire works in a normal startup process. So once the pellets light up here, the fan will come on and the pellets chute will continue to slowly drop pellets. I set it for 300, so we'll get it to 300 to start up thing. We'll get it to 600. Burn it for about 40 minutes or so. Is what the manual says. Get rid of the manufacturing residue. And I can put this thing on now. Looks like it's all good. Put the fire pot back on. This is aligned nicely. Okay. My fire is fully started. TV back on. Alright, let's come up to temp here. We're ramping a SmokeFire to 600 for the burning cycle. Alright, we got a large flame, fully engulfed. That's kind of how it is. It'll burn really hot. Going to 600 for 40 minutes. We are 600 degrees, and I want to show you guys how it looks like here. It's pretty normal. How SmokeFire looks like. It's running full bore. It's really hot. It's been about 40 minutes, and you check on everything here. It's still burning fine. So it's running 40 minutes, and that should be enough to burn off all the manufacturing residue. Let's go through a shutdown cycle now. Go here, menu, and shut down here. Press once, shut down. Alright, take about 15 minutes to shut down. And after you do the shutdown, this puppy is ready to cook barbecue for you.